let's talk about guitar mixing. Hello, my name is Ivan and I'm still suck at guitar mixing, but I do what I can. So, it's been 2 years since I started making music, and I gotta say that it was very difficult for me because it was a new world and I barely know about equipment and theory and tips and tricks and all that stuff. And yes, tutorials and YouTube and forums helped a lot, but I had to sit, open Reaper, plug my guitar, start playing and play around with all the tools in order for me to know what I was doing and what things worked and what things didn't work. So here I am, 2 years later, and I still kinda suck in this, but a little bit less. So I think that it might be a really good idea to give you 3 tips that helped me a lot in order to giving you 3 tips to improve your guitar mixing. Okay, the tip number 1 is the EQ. It's very important to have a really good EQ on your guitars. I mean, I use the one that comes free with Reaper and it works pretty good. The cool part is that you don't need that much. A simple EQ can do pretty much the job, and I like to keep my guitars as unprocessed as they can be. I don't like to go all crazy with EQ and cutting up things and adding up things. No, just the simple stuff, a high pass filter, a little bit of low pass filter, and maybe cutting up 2-3 frequencies, and that's it. That's my guitars. Okay, just as an example, hear how much does these guitars improve when I add some EQ. Just listen to this. Okay, now we turn the EQ on. Can you hear all those frequencies, all those low frequencies just disappearing? Also, the harshness. Don't be afraid of the EQ. Tip number 2, don't go crazy with the gain on your audio interface. You probably have seen or heard somewhere that you need good gain levels on your audio interface in order for your guitar to sound good. But I discovered that there's a catch. Not everyone have the same audio interface, the same guitar, the same pickups, even the same strings. And I gotta tell you that sometimes a lot of gain, even when you're not clipping, it's bad. Too much distortion can really affect the clarity of your tone. So if you think you have a problem with this, if you think your guitar is not clear enough, don't be afraid to turn down the gain on your audio interface. It can add a ton of clarity. And if you think you need gain or an extra boost, you can pretty much turn up the gain or your input levels on your plugin, and that's pretty much it. Just don't be afraid to experiment with your audio interface and see what works and what doesn't. And finally, tip number 3, play correctly. This sounds really dumb, but it's very important, and a lot of players just ignore this part and think that everything can be fixed in the DAW. If you have a song, you need to know how to play it. You need to know how to mute the strings that you're not playing. You need to know how to isolate the things that you're playing. There is a massive difference between a well-played part and a meh-played part. Why? Because when you know how to play your song and how to play the parts of the song really well, you're getting rid of unwanted noise, unwanted frequencies, and a lot of work on post-production. You don't need to go to Reaper and try to fix the problems of your bad playing. So, get to know your song, practice your music, and you will see how much thus your song can improve following these 3 really basic tips and tricks. So that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video. I hope you find it useful. If you're beginning with guitar recording and mixing, try these 3 tips and let me know if your music is a little bit better. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get some coffee and bye.